If you've been following the latest news here on the channel, you already know that version 3.4 will bring the long-awaited kit updates for several characters. Recently, some early leaks have surfaced about the possible buffs these characters might receive. In today's video, we're going to talk about these potential buffs and discuss everything we can expect. So, if you want to know all the latest info, stick with me until the end of the video. Version 3.2 is here, and if you're thinking about pulling in any of the banners, let me introduce you to Loot Bar. It's a fast, secure, and super reliable website to top up your own Oneiric shards. On Loot Bar, you'll find prices with up to 25% discounts compared to in-game prices and a super simple process. Just select the amount of Oneiric shards you need, enter your UID and server, and complete the purchase. Everything is done securely, so your items are delivered straight to your account without any stress. In addition to Honkai Star Rail, on Loot Bar, you can also top up other games like Genshin Impact, Zenless Zone Zero, and Wuthering Waves. And if you play on other platforms like PS5 or Xbox, you can also top up at Loot Bar. Click the link in the description and register to get an additional 10% discount coupon that can be combined with all other discounts. The group of characters set to have their kits revamped includes Kafka, Blade, Silverwolf, and Jingliu. The idea behind these changes is to help them adapt to the game's newest content, since, as you know, enemies are getting more challenging, but the character's damage output has stayed the same. MiHoYo's solution for this was to select a few characters to rework first. This way, not only will they be better suited for new content, but they'll also be able to interact more effectively with the new wave of characters being released. It's always important to remember that the information in this video is subject to change. So, don't take it as absolute truth, but rather as valuable insight, since these leaks are coming from internal sources. It's very likely that these kit changes will serve as a base, at least for the beta test. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to help the channel grow. And let me know in the comments what you think about these changes. Let's start with the news about Jingliu. One of the most interesting updates is that she'll now scale with HP, meaning her skill and buff damage will be directly influenced by her max HP. This changes how you'll want to build her, making HP-focused items and relics much more relevant. Additionally, all of her eidolons that previously scaled with ATK will be adjusted to scale with HP instead. Keep in mind these changes are still subject to adjustments, as they haven't been officially confirmed and could be tweaked before the final release. This info about Jingliu comes from Luna. Now let's talk about Silverwolf's buffs. The latest info focuses on her skill and ultimate. Her current skill has an 85% chance to add a random elemental weakness matching one of your team's elements to the target enemy. In other words, it's random. For example, if the enemy already has a physical weakness and your team includes quantum, fire, or wind, there's an equal chance for each of those elements to be applied as a new weakness. You don't have control over which element is applied, and it only affects one target at a time. The planned change for her skill addresses exactly this. Not only will the chance to apply a weakness go up from 85% to 100%, meaning you'll need less effect hit rate in Silverwolf's build, but the application will likely become AoE, in line with similar changes to her ultimate. So, her skill will have a higher chance to apply, will hit more enemies, and best of all, will guarantee that all relevant weaknesses from your team are applied to the enemies. For instance, if your team is quantum, wind, and physical, all three weaknesses will be applied to enemies who don't already have them. This makes her skill much stronger than it is now. On top of that, her ultimate is also getting a rework. The main change is in its area of effect. Right now, Silverwolf's ultimate has a 100% chance to reduce an enemy's def by 45% for 3 turns, and deals 380% quantum damage to a single target. The big change is that this debuff and damage will now be applied to all enemies in range, making the ultimate AoE. This means every enemy will take the quantum damage and get their DF reduced by 45%. With this update, Silverwolf could easily become the best debuffer in the entire game. Just from these 2 changes, Silverwolf is already looking amazing, but keep in mind that the plan is to rework her entire kit. So, she'll likely get even better as more details come out. Now, moving on to the last character I'll be talking about in this video, Kafka. She's extremely important for DOT teams. Without her, DOT is barely viable right now. Kafka's main strength is her ability to trigger DOT damage early on enemies, both through her skill and thanks to her talent, her ultimate. There have been some interesting leaks about Kafka, but remember these are also subject to change, so keep an eye out. According to info from Tiba, there are supposed changes to her multipliers and mechanics. Kafka's skill now has its DOT activation multiplier on the main target increased from 75% to 100%, and DOT is now also triggered on adjacent targets, each receiving a 75% multiplier. As for her ultimate, the shock multiplier has gone up from 290% to 380%, and the DOT activation multiplier has increased from 100% to 150%. Kafka's follow-up attack now has 3 charges, and she recovers 1 charge per turn as usual, but can also recover a charge every time an ally applies a DOT, up to 3 times, with the count resetting when her ultimate is used. The DOT activation multiplier for this follow-up is 90%. Additionally, she now grants all-type resistance penetration for DOT damage, which could massively boost DOT team output. Plus, Kafka's follow-up attack used to be triggered only by her allies' basic attacks. With the new changes, any type of ally attack including skills and ultimates will be able to trigger her follow-up, making it much more frequent and versatile. Even if this is the only change, it already makes Kafka much more important and much stronger in DOT teams. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments what you think about these changes. And if you can, please leave a like and subscribe to help the channel grow. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.